Sophie.
Welcome back to Jeff Lewis. What are we? Jeff Lewis Obsessed, where we recap Jeff Lewis Live every night. I'm Sarah in Texas.
And I'm Kelly in California. Welcome.
Your voice sounds better. It sounds very sexy, raspy.
I said I'm at a Luann, a countess level.
I mean, literally, if I would have shut my eyes, you were Luann on Reality Check today with Amy and Alyssa.
Stop it.
You sexy beast, you.
I mean, I already have a low voice as it is, so this it gives me a little bit more sex appeal with the rasp, right?
I mean, you can throw off a hat so well. I just can't pull off a hat. I look so stupid in a hat.
And of course, it's LA for the Dodgers. What?
Shout out LA. We were just on the other side of the country all weekend. 5 days in New York City together.
Hi, Charlotte.
Roommating, bed sharing,
yes,
toilet sharing,
stupid sink sharing with no water pressure.
The shower was good. The water pressure in the sink was terrible. Terrible.
Camille.
So let us know in comments if you want to hear about Bravocon or if you want us to recap Jeff Lewis today. Of course, today was supposed to be Cynthia motherfucking Bailey.
I know.
Yeah. Kelly, do you think we did not have our own beds?
Sarah, Sarah made it so that we had to share a bed.
Yeah, baby. It was a king. I was hoping for a twin, you know?
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
So, no, we booked our hotel a long time ago, but no, we couldn't get double beds there.
It was crazy. There was a lot of people. What was it, like 30,000 had come in for Bravocon or something crazy?
Yeah. And this was walkable, too. This was walkable, so it was so good. It was, like a 7-8 minute walk? We had amazing weather in New York City, amazing. It rained Thursday night. If y'all saw the video, we did a video right after we left Gansevoort. We left we left pretty early. We'd already eaten, and but Jeff and Shane and them did a video in the rain. So yeah, it was rainy. It was hard to get an Uber and all that jazz. Some other friends of ours got stuck in the rain, so they didn't join us at the Gansevoort. And then I hated to break it to them that the chump showed up because...
Not only the chumps. I mean, it was literally a Bravocon reunion. It was crazy. It was like every time we were like...
It was the mini Bravocon that Jeff said it would be. Amazing. Who all did we see? First of all, we walk right in. We go into the rooftop bar. And
we were there for a good 45 minutes, just chilling and eating some hummus and just hanging out.
Eating and drinking. And I was facing you, hot stuff. And all of a sudden you go, oh, fuck, Shane just walked in. And I'm like, oh, my God. So we've gotten tons of DMs. No, I do not have Jeff's cell phone number. No, I do not ask him where he's going to be. I don't even care. I don't ask him that. It was made very clear by everybody, especially fabulous MJ, on her podcast, Till the Dirt, Monday, that she was booked up at Gansevoort, and a lot of the Bravo celebrities were.
Yes, we're staying there. I mean, they
made it very clear. If you want to see me, if you want to see us, come to the Gansevoort. Also, I wanted to go to Gansevoort because the Kardashians made it very famous years ago on the Kardashians. So we had no idea. Though I assumed Jeff, since he didn't say where they were having drinks at, we knew where he was having dinner at the Polo Bar. Since he didn't say, he just said the time, 9:30, and it was going to be a mini Bravocon. He said a lot of the people that would be there. Mm-hmm. Since he didn't say, we assumed he would have it like a private area or somewhere. Yeah. The fact that they went to the Gansevoort tells me they wanted to be seen because they knew a lot of people were going to be there.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that all the housewives and a lot of Bravo celebrities were going to stay there,
made it easy for them.
Yeah, and there were a few other fans that were hanging out up there that I think also were...
Cheryl from Van Nuys and some,
Cheryl.
Facebook friends, yeah.
Yeah, and even if... I mean, a lot of it was just like we knew we were going to see housewives. If we went there, we knew we were going to see housewives.
Right.
So I see Shane walk in, and then I go, so I say, oh shit, there's Shane. And I say, oh fuck, there's Jeff, there's Stu, there's Alyssa. And then they all started rolling in.
We got to meet Kian in person. He's the one we'd never met in person. Had we met Kian? No, we'd never met Kian.
So
yeah,
cute.
We met Kian in person. He's even cuter in person.
I think I freaked him out because I'm like this gigantic woman, and he's like probably this. I mean, he was sitting down. Anyways, so I said, Alyssa, I have to say hi to Kian because I think he's so great. And I like touched his shoe and I said, hi, Kian. I just want to let you know I think you're so talented. And he was like, so like, I could tell he's shy. And he's like, okay. He was cute.
Yeah, he is not used to being recognized. Stu came over to our table and sat down for a little bit. We didn't bother Jeff. I mean, by the time we were leaving, oh my God, everyone was there. We did take a picture with Vicky Gumbelson.
Shannon
was so fun.
She was.
Who else?
Those are the only people I remember taking pictures
with. Lisa Barlow came.
Lisa Barlow, her husband, Shannon, Margaret. We saw later.
Carolyn
Manzo, Jackie from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Well, they were coming up when we were leaving, so we got a picture with her and Margaret. Jackie and Margaret.
That's true. We saw Sheena from Vanderpump Rules. We saw Madison from Southern Charm, and they took pictures with us. And I guess because they were up there kind of later, because, I mean, we had both flown in. We were tired. And I guess, like, even more came. Like, Tamara came. Heather McDonald came. Yeah. I know we're missing people, but there was just MJ was there.
Yeah, we did see MJ.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty fucking cool.
It was amazing. Y'all are saying some comments. Yes. I was thinking that too.
Oh, no, Stuart was there. Stuart was there, yeah. Stuart came over and chatted with us too. We said it in the beginning. Maybe you guys didn't hear us, but yeah, Stuart was there.
No, I think they're saying that Stu's not been mentioned the last few days.
Oh.
The beach commercial or something where people couldn't get in. Oh, I didn't know about people not being able to get in. We got in very easily. We had,
but you know what, though? We were there earlier, and what we noticed is, like, as the later the night got and more people came in, I'm pretty sure they probably said something to security because there were so many housewives now at the top of the rooftop, and people follow them. They know where they're going. People are waiting outside. They have barriers like protecting the area where the housewives walk in. So probably at some point they're like, we got to shut this down and make it so it's harder to get into, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Somebody did Amy go? I want to say that Alyssa was there one night because I heard it on Reality Check yesterday. One night, Amy and Alyssa went to dinner and had a nice dinner together. Alyssa was definitely there. She's so fun.
Amy talked about it tonight. She said, or today on her show, she said that, you know, it's the same for everybody. I mean, we must have slept like 2 to 5 hours a night. She was really tired. They had come in from a red eye the night before.
Yeah.
And Stu was trying to get her to come out. And she was like, no, I have to stay home. I'm going to stay in. And she ended up staying in and sleeping and getting a little bit of sleep before all the craziness happened.
Yeah. And she had, they had the Bravo Bazaar there going on. And they were, it was amazing to see so many fans, how much space was taken up by egos. Where, Orphe? I did not. If someone asked the rudest and the nicest, I will say one of the first Bravo Loves we met, as far as not at the Gansevoort Thursday night. Friday, I was at. Oh no! Oh, one of the first ones I met was Thursday during the day. Thursday during the day, I was helping at the. Kelly had not flown in yet. I was helping Amy and Stu at their booth. And there's nobody there. It's just people getting ready. And Gina from OC and her boyfriend Matt's the ex. Travis were there. So incredibly nice. So incredibly nice. So incredibly nice. And then Sutton came up and was talking to Amy Phillips, and they were doing some kind of video, something. So do I still like Brandy? Of course I do. I did not get my first girl kiss from Brandy. She was very close to me at one point, but she was doing an interview and she was way up above me on a stage. So I got really a close look at the back of her legs. she must have been drunk as shit or something at the Legends Ball. Mm-hmm. And at one point, Andy, I went to Legends Ball Friday night. And at one point, Andy said for her to go she got up and did something. And Andy asked her to go have a seat or something like that. I don't think I saw that part on the Legends Ball Watch What Happens Live that I just watched. But her ass was out. She must have had a G-string on or something like that.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. Someone said, who was the rudest Bravo celebrity? Did we have anyone that was rude to us?
Well, I was going to say this. Honestly, like, everybody was fine. Gina and Travis, especially Travis, the nicest humans in the world.
And Amy and Chef Stu.
Of course.
Who we've met before, to be honest.
Yes.
So nice. I can't even tell you how nice they are and how sweet the fans were to them also. Amazing. Literally amazing.
And what I was going to say is I had one incident with a housewife that wouldn't take a photo with me, but I'm not even going to say who it was because they're honestly treated like cattle. I mean, when we were there was like, because we were right by the entrance to the green room. So we saw everybody come in and out. And they are like...
Is this the bathroom situation, though, you were in?
No.
Okay.
And just, the amount of people that have to come out and how many security guards and the screaming and the yelling. So this person was walking back to the green room. And I was like, I tried to grab that. I didn't grab her, but I said, so-and-so, do you mind taking a picture? And she said, sorry, babe, I'll be back at 2. And at first my feelings were hurt. But then I was like, you know what? They are out. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to be out there and meeting people like for an hour and talking and talking and talking.
Yeah.
Everyone was really sweet. Everyone was really, really sweet. How did you ladies end up getting to help Stu and Amy? For me, I know Stuart just from doing the lives and through Sarah. We just have a friendship now. I knew that they were doing this and they needed some help. Amy had put it out on her show. And so I just sent Stu a message and I said, hey, if you need help, I'm going just to get content. I would love to be able to help at the booth. And that was it. There was no like special or anything like that. It was just the right time and the right place. And yeah.
Did you ladies? So I always had a ticket to Bravocon. I had bought my plane ticket and my hotel room before Bravo tickets even went on sale. So I was always planning on it. Kelly was,
I wasn't going to go.
Never planning on it. Through some wonderful stuff, she was able to go. She was never going to attend Bravocon though. She was just coming and staying in my hotel room with me. And yes, again, we knew that they needed some help at the booth, and so we helped him, and it was so good. And Abigail, who heard it on the radio, they were kind of joking about needing a family van, and Abigail literally DM'd both of them. I don't think she ever had a relationship with them. No. She had not. We've known Stu for quite a while, and
we met Amy a few times. We met Amy before, I was saying, in the past when we went to
you met her at the book signing, right?
Yes.
And then April 30th or whenever that was. And then we both met them at the Real Comedians of Bravo show that I flew out for in California. So nice. But she knew well before that Kelly was going to help at the thing.
Yeah.
So anyone who was the best thing about Bravocon, I don't know. I really have no complaints. I mean, I don't know more of the people that I talked to, and it was so fun to meet Jeff Lewis fans in person. Yes. It was weird to us because you and I were not able to be together at Bravocon most of the time. Right. So when people, I was with our friend Kim, who is a Jeff Lewis fan. It was so weird when people would recognize me. Like, I'm taking a picture with Shannon Bedore and John Jansen and just telling her, I'd met her the night before, but I'm just telling her, I'm a huge Jeff Lewis fan. I love that y'all are friends. And then I hear, oh my God, it's Sarah from Texas. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I told you I was a Jeff Lewis fan. So it was so weird, but it was so fun to meet people. We met friends that we had DM'd with that had told us they were going to be there. Yes, and then we met other people that we had not expected to know or to meet. So,
Alicia, you're right. There was There were some inconsistencies that they tried to fix at Bravocon. I think Friday was kind of a shit show. And then Saturday and Sunday, they realized kind of maybe the mistakes they had made in trying to fix. Because one of the things that was really difficult for us, we were at a booth that had Jennifer Aiden right next to us. A couple things down, we had Marlo. A couple things down, there was someone else. And then on the other side, we had Gigi. We had Shannon Bedore. We had Gina and Travis. And then across, we had Craig. We had Tom Sandoval. We had Sheree. So what happens is, like, when they get there, because Amy and Stu were there from almost the whole time. They worked their asses off. But when the other talent would get there, there would be so many people. And at first, they were not giving us the barriers and these, like, extenders to kind of block people off. And it was just me trying to use my body, like, trying to, because it was so crazy with people. But they kind of fixed that as it went along. However, I will say that Amy and Stu are really kind, and they were there the whole time. A lot of people had complaints that the Bravo celebrities might not have been at their booths as much as they had hoped they were going to be. So if I would have paid all that money expecting to see somebody, then I could understand a little bit of frustration, definitely.
Well, because honestly, I feel like the booth was your best opportunity to, like, the photo ops. I didn't even waste my time. They were 30 minutes.
Too long of a line.
You were never going to get to see them, and I just didn't want a picture with a celebrity that bad. So that wasn't my thing. But and there were so many panels to see. So to me, the panels were really good. I loved the panels.
They were juicy.
Amy hosted a few. One of my favorites was probably the Real Housewives of OC, like the last night on Sunday. Yeah. It was so good. And that's where Heather Dubrow gave the big FU to Kelly Dodd. So loved that. It was just good. Some things weren't juicy. Was there a lack of food? Absolutely not. So they had like Indian food booth. They had barbecue.
Really? I didn't walk. I mean, it was
Greek food.
It was such an expansive space that I really didn't get to go all over. I just pretty much stayed in the bazaar and went to the panels that I got to go to, which was awesome. Yep. But there was a lot of food for the talent and backstage. So it was cool because Stu was like, "Are you hungry?" And bitch is always hungry. And I was like, "Yeah." So he would bring me out
Stu is always hungry.
He would bring me out food for me and Abigail. I don't think Abigail ate it, but I did. The guys next to us at the booth ordered pizza. They were super cool, and they would give us food. So I was well taken care of. But I did hear some of the lines were long, which is to be expected.
Okay. Speaking of well taken care of, though, Kim and I had general admission 3-day tickets, which were fine. I was told before tickets went on sale that don't hassle with the VIP, so I never wanted the VIP. But when Kelly was given the opportunity to roam around, did you have Stu or Amy's talent?
I won't say whose it was, but I had I had a talent badge. And let me tell you, I felt non-pull.
I mean, it was like the seas parted open, and it was like, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am, come to the front row for press."
Your talent?
She had amazing access and seats to the front row panels, the ones that she was able to attend. So that was really nice of them. And to say that Amy and Chef Stu are so incredibly nice. They're not fake at all. They are really as nice as you would ever. They're nicer than you would ever imagine them to be, truly.
Approachable and warm, and like I said, it was really cool because I feel like sometimes there's a lot of negativity in Bravo fandom, and there's just like, And just to be in at their booth where there was people I saw people crying. They were so excited to see them. Amy, like there was mother and daughters
lots of mother and daughters.
Mothers and daughters, and like I didn't want to listen too hard, but people were talking about maybe a family member that had passed away that might have been a fan or stuff like that. But just the connection that Amy and Stu have with their fans, it's phenomenal because they really care and they're really there to like say hi, thank you so much, let me give you a hug.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody said, spill the tea about the panels. I mean, I did that on my stories. I tried to video the highlights of the panels. They've already gone away because they're 24 hours.
Did you get to see, you saw a panel that I didn't get to see. I can't remember, but did you get to see the Salt Lake City panel?
I did not, because it overlapped with Housewives Bravocon Theater that Amy and Alyssa had worked so hard on, and I was never going to miss that.
So what I was going to say is
the overlap was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Because things would end, say, at 15 minutes before something else was starting, but you had to get out of the line. What we did is we kind of team tagged, and Kim and I would each get into a line and wait, and then we would bring the other person in, and nobody minded that at all, because everyone was taking turns going to the bathroom, getting food, water, things like that. So nobody cared. We weren't cutting in line. What people didn't like, and what we never did, was save a seat.
You shouldn't do that.
Inside the thing, because some of them were just going to the bar, which is fine, or the bathroom, but some of them just didn't want someone sitting next to them or something like that. I don't know.
Salt Lake City, what I was going to say during the panel, I know that there was some juicy stuff happening. I'm not sure what happened.
Whitney and Heather really went at it, apparently.
Okay, because, what I was going to say is at one point I went to the bathroom backstage, and Lisa Barlow was in there, and she had sunglasses on. And from what I interpreted, it looked like she had been crying or was upset. And I had my phone in my hand, and I wasn't going to take a fucking picture in the bathroom. I was going to ask first, although I did that with Kyle. And one of her wranglers told me, they were like, no photos. And I was like, oops, sorry. Okay. So I just thought maybe something happened. I think the juicy thing from OC panel was that Heather flipped off Kelly Dodd. It sounded like Heather and Taylor had kind of some issues at the beginning and probably haven't worked it out. Shannon and Tamara seemed back together as friends. I don't know if they're as close as they used to be.
Yeah.
But they're definitely, there was so much happening. Tamara's always awesome, and she'll always spill the tea. And she basically said that Kelly Dodd was acting like they have this tight friendship. And she was like, no, we don't. And then she said something shitty about Eddie or something. Kelly Dodd did. And so Tamara was like, fuck you, I'm not talking to you anymore if you're going to insult my husband. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. And then Kelly Dodd said that on her YouTube podcast with her husband, Rick, that she was going to spill the receipts. So like the phone logs and the texts, like, you and I do talk a lot. Don't deny my friendship if we don't talk whenever we do. Overall, I thought it went really well. There were long lines. There was plenty of space for most everything. The whole thing, and I videoed the thing into the Beverly Hills. When I was videoing, it's because I didn't think I was going to get in. So I thought, well, I might as well just video the chaos of all these women just running all of a sudden to that stage. But then we did get in, and actually Cheryl from Van Nuys, who had SVIP, wasn't even sitting up front of that panel as she should have been. She was sitting in the back. She got up to go, I think, to a photo opportunity. I'm not really sure. And she was like, Sarah, just come sit in my seat whenever she got up. So people would get up before the panels were over, and then people that were standing just went and sat down. What do we think of how Tamara dealt with the squash that beef with Jill?
I didn't get to see that.
I at that one?
No.
That Legends Ball?
Oh, I thought that was Watch What Happens Live. Remember, they did Squash That Beef with us, so I don't know if they did that earlier with Tamara and Jill.
Well, they did it at Legends Ball, which was also a Watch What Happens Live, but just an hour-long version of it.
Okay.
It's wherever. So Kelly was at the Sunday night Watch What Happens Live with us.
Yeah, and that was amazing.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Hey, Kim. And then we were at Legends Ball Friday night, which is where like 140 of all of them were there. Like most cast members of everything, of current shows. The only people that really weren't current was, like people have mentioned, the Manzo boys, Carolyn Manzo. That's about it. Well, Shaws aren't current, but I'm pretty sure that MJ's almost made it clear on Jeff Lewis Live that they are filming another
something.
One. They just haven't said, which I don't know why they wouldn't announce that yet. Like, why wouldn't they announce it? Also, Andy Cohen said there was going to be tons of announcements all weekend.
It was
I don't really think there was a lot of announcements made.
I think people's expectations were different because you never know what they're going to announce. But I think one of the big announcements was that who the cast of the New York City Housewife was going to be.
Yeah.
I was going to say, one of the most funnest things that happened that we didn't mean to happen was on Sunday. We were leaving Bravocon. We're fucking tired. We've been doing this shit all weekend. My apron was dirty.
Lost.
We got lost. We got lost.
To the hotel.
And so we're walking down the street, and there's tons of police officers, tons of security, and all these blockades and all these cars. And I was like, what's happening? And
lots of black Suburbans, so we knew what was up.
What was the name of that place? Manhattan Center?
Yeah. It's where
the
Legends Ball was. It's where everything happened outside of Javits Center.
And so they were like, we saw so many people, and like I already had my voice lost, and it made it even worse. And we were screaming. We saw Chanel, we saw Cynthia, we saw Captain Lee and his wife, we saw Captain Jason. I mean, who else did we see? Tamara, Vicky, not Vicky, Tamara, Jill. I mean, you name it, we saw them, and they were dressed to the nines. They looked beautiful.
And we were probably 12 feet from them.
Yeah, and there was only a few of us.
There was only a few of us. We totally were chatting it up with these two guys that were so nice. Some people
I can't remember his name. It's G.
It doesn't matter.
I saw him get on. It does matter. Hi.
Why?
He was on. He's on with us right now.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't think he would want us to say his name. I was like, hi. And some people walked by and was like, who are we waiting on? And I would say, oh, it's a bunch of Bravo's people. And they were like, who? And I'm like, yeah, if you don't know what that means, it's probably not going to mean anything to you, right? Because if you don't know the word Bravo, then...
It was fun, though. It was fun to get lost.
And a lot of them came over and took pictures with us, videos. Alexia, I did an Olaf.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Alexia.
With her.
Yeah, because there weren't that many fans out there. And so, and they could hear us. We were screaming. I was like telling them, work it, girl. Yeah. You're hot. I love your legs. I love the shoes. And it was fun because they
loved it because it wasn't overwhelming to them. There weren't that many people out there. But again, we had just gone down the wrong street. And Kim and I had done this the night before, but I
got lost too. Yeah.
At a different time. So I knew what it was, but I didn't realize this was the back of the Manhattan Center. So this is where all the Bravo Lebs and everybody were getting let off for Watch What Happens Live for the 7:00 show and the 10:00 show that we were at later. So I knew that it was celebrities, but I didn't realize when I was with Kim that it was the back of the Manhattan Center. So we just knew it was somebody getting dropped off. But at the time, nobody was getting dropped off. When you and I walked by, everyone was showing up. It was
incredible.
Insane.
Someone asked, did we see Jeff any other times? No, we only saw him Thursday night because he had a show Friday morning, and then he had to fly out at 4. So I think the show was is it 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock?
12 o'clock New York time.
In New York time. So he really was not at Bravocon. He was just overlapping a little bit with his mini Bravocon.
Yeah, and we knew that. We knew that the time, we were there, and the time that he was leaving, we knew that he wasn't going to.
We did see Brooks. I remember seeing Brooks because I was screaming at him, and I saw Brooks. Was Jeff nice? I think Jeff was really occupied with everything going on. There was no one that was really rude.
No, we only chatted. Stu came over to our table because, like I said, it's probably no secret. We know Stu, so we know of all the chumps. Like, they could pick us out in a lineup. They're not afraid of us. Shocking. And but Stu came over to our table. We didn't go over to them. We just left them alone. We did not expect them to be there. So really, and I'd just seen them a week before, so it was really,
And plus, it was
their mini Bravocon. We just let them be.
Yeah,
we did say hi to Alyssa as we were leaving, and then that's whenever we said hi. You said hi to Kian.
Scared him.
You didn't scare Kian. I just don't think he's used to being. Jeff is always. I figure if they showed up at the Gansevoort rooftop bar, they knew there were going to be people. But even Saturday night, Kim and I were at Heather McDonald. And she even said, because she was talking about Jeff, which I made some videos, if y'all looked at my stories, because she was mad that Jeff had invited her to the small dinner party the night before at Polo Bar and then uninvited her. Yeah. So she was not very happy about that. So she did a 2 or 3 minute show on that. But she even said there was no one at the Gansevoort. So if y'all didn't know to go there, there was only like 5 people that knew to go there. Well, you know, you went over to the 5, I guess.
We did not see Jen Shaw. From what I understood, I guess she was invited to go, and then she was, quote unquote, disinvited. I didn't see any proof of that. I know there was something with her and Tamara. Tamara said something, and then she posted something on Instagram. I'm going to say this about all of those motherfuckers. They are gorgeous, thin, beautiful. I mean, I left there having an eating disorder.
Did anyone look different?
No.
I mean, we recognize them all, so I guess that doesn't mean anyone looked any different in person.
And they were all glammed up. So when with the Bravo celebrities were at the bazaar, I mean, I saw Phaedra was biased too. I saw Phaedra like 3 times a day in different outfit changes, and they were dressed to the T's. Gina, I loved every outfit of Gina's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just phenomenal.
And she's so incredibly nice. I really think they all are. I think they know what job they had to do.
Right.
Anyone that was walking by, some had security. So I did hear this, and I think, did Amy talk about this on her show? I don't know where I heard this from. But at one point, she said they would get there, you would get there to help with the Bravo Bazaar so early that y'all would see the kind of the group meeting that the employees of the Javits Center would have. So on Friday, it was like very small. She said on Saturday, it was huge. And they were basically saying, do not let someone walk alone. So by Friday, they had realized, because on Friday, there was, I can't remember. Every day is blurring together. At one point, Andy Cohen walked by and he had like 3 security guards with him. He was the most security guards I saw. The rest of the time, there's one time I videoed, Kim and I were going to a panel that was, New Jersey, I don't know, it was a mashup, Housewives to Housewives, something. But Jennifer Aiden was on it, and then I looked, and she was right beside me or right behind me walking. I can't remember which it was. And she had like 1 or 2, I would say, escorts with them, which was usually women, not big security guards. And so I just turned around and started videoing and talking to her. And then once I turned the video off, I was just talking to her about both of us having 5 kids and how crazy it was. And we chatted the whole way into the panel.
Definitely. As
all of them knew. They were there to take pictures. They were there to smile. They were there to,
You know what, Linda? You're right. I didn't realize Andy was so petite.
Yeah.
He is very thin. I know that he had been talking about not drinking and trying to prepare for Bravocon and had lost some weight. Although he was passing out shots at his little appearance. Abigail got a shot from him and got to drink it. But yeah, Andy was looking.
Bruce Fozzie's thing?
Yes, yeah. But I think as the days went on, the security kind of realized more what was going on.
Yeah.
And you would see, this was how I knew something was happening. All of a sudden, you'd see 3 men in black, show up with those little things in their ears, looking around and talking. And then you see them starting to, stick the expanders out so people could get by. And then, maybe 5 minutes later, you see somebody come out with, like Dorinda. People were going wild, and Sheree, because they walked out and they were going towards their booth, and they had a lot of, not as many as Andy, but they did have a lot of people helping them get through there. I couldn't tell if he was short or not. I think he was.
Oh, yes.
Because Bruce,
I'm 5'7". He's probably 5'8" at most. He walked right by me. I made a video of him. I will tell a fun Sheree story. So She by Sheree was right across from from Chef Stu and Amy's cookbook booth. And she wasn't there. If she was there, I never saw her. But
maybe an hour a day she was there. I
had ordered her hoodie when the website came up, and it was $250 plus tax. It was $207. Yes, I was at the one where Anderson was, the gay shark, the Legends Ball. That was at the Legends Ball. Kim and I were there.
Anderson.
And so I just went over and was talking. It happened to be her social media guy, which was super nice. And I was like, hey, I ordered a hoodie. Have y'all's orders gone out? I said I was hoping to wear it on the plane to Bravocon. And he was like, yeah, those orders have gone out. Like, what do you mean you haven't gotten it? I'm like, oh, I'm like, no, really? I just assumed the order side had got it. He was so nice.
Thank you, Linda.
He was like, let me get your information. He goes, Sheree comes in at midnight tonight. I'm going to ask her about it. And I'm like, no. It is not a big deal. Do not worry about it. It didn't come in time, so it's no big deal. I'm thinking I'll throw it back here with my podcast stuff, and it'll just be part of my T-shirt collection. Shout out Shane, T for D, chumps, And the next day or 2 days later, he recognizes me, calls me over, and he's like, hey, I talked to Sheree last night, and here's your order. And he goes, you live in Texas, right? And I go, yeah. And he was like, here, and he pulls it up, and he goes, it was delivered to your front porch on the 14th. And I go, okay, I left on the 13th. I'm like, thank you so much for letting me know. And it's sure enough, I fly home last night, and it's laying on my kitchen island. So
I wanted to talk a little bit about Watch What Happens Live, the one that I saw with you. What was it called? Like the reader's room or?
No, Shady Women or something like that. Shady People.
Yeah. And it was basically
was it called the reading room? And it was the Shady Women. Yeah.
And it was basically all the women that kind of talk shit and like, you know what I mean? It was really surprising that Lisa Rinna wasn't there, but she was.
I know.
I love Lisa, but there was many times, like the way they play games, they're such shit stirrers. And so Phaedra and Ayan kind of got into it, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was fucking cool. Just seeing how it all works.
I think the best person, two people that came to play were Lisa Rinna, because she made lots of news about people booing her. But as soon as people booed her, they also cheered her because she gave the big, finger. So it's like she understands the assignment.
Yes.
And I will say Tamra understood the assignment.
Yep.
Tamra showed up to every panel, starting shit or saying something that got her news and got 2 T's in a pod some news. I also happened to meet one of the producers in line of 2 T's in a pod, and she didn't give me any inside scoop necessarily, nor did I ask for any. But she made it very clear that that they were working hard, and Teddy was really there to promote her podcast and get interviews and things like that. So she did her job, and Tamara did her job by promoting.
Oh, Erica. You know what's crazy? Too. On Sunday night, that's when she said the thing about Dorit and PK. Honestly, at first they asked her a question, I think, like, who do you think is next up for a divorce? Or I don't remember what it was. But at first she was like, she didn't really have an answer because she was just like, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, no, give us more. And then I kind of felt like she felt pressured to say something. And she stood up. You don't think so?
Oh, I think she knew exactly what she was doing. She got out of her chair. First of all, what was confusing, because I videoed it, there was a big question in lettering, like whatever. And it said something like, who is the next housewife relationship to fall apart, or whatever they said. So no one really saw that unless you read the line. And then she stands up and she says, Dorit and PK, real sassy, and then goes and sits down. So everyone in the live audience knew exactly what it was. That's why we responded so crazy.
Yeah.
But when I made the video, all it showed was Dorit and PK. So then I turned my camera around to show the question, but then it was like sideways. So, but that made lots of news. And then, of course, PK responded basically saying, you don't know what the F you're talking about because you've got all your shit wonky doodle, Erica, in your life. So.
Yeah, I was going to say one other really fun thing is that I got to go on stage, not while it was happening, but with Stu and Amy, and like take pictures and see how all that background stuff happens. And it was crazy. Right before the show started, they had these sternos, the little burners that have the flame on them. And
this is for their Saturday morning cooking demo.
Yeah, the display with Cynthia, Carolyn, and Quad. And I looked and I was like, wow, that flame's really high. And I stood up and looked and I was like, well, I think it's okay. And then all of a sudden I hear the lady telling the security guard, it's on fire! It's on fire! So I ran, and the security guard put it out. I ran back to Stu and Amy, and I said, oh my God, the flowers caught on fire. And I said, they put out the flame. And Stu was like, fuck, I need the flame. And so they went and relit it again. So that was fun. Oh, their cooking demo was so fun. The only thing that sucked is the sound was fucked up. Remember their mics? I felt like you couldn't really hear clearly Amy and Stu.
I felt like there was 3 big stages. That was probably the worst stage for audio because it was the biggest. Mm-hmm. It was the biggest room. So I just felt like it was probably the worst for audio. maybe some echoing and stuff, but yeah. I can hear it and understand it, but I guess I'm so used to hearing his accent. I think it's his accent though that people with the
right.
They couldn't understand the combination of that. I don't know, but I understood him just fine.
One other thing is I got to, Amy wanted me to record something. I don't remember what it was, but I got to go sit in the green room.
Yes.
And Sarah will tell you that, it was for the Bravocon Theater.
Yes.
And so I'm sitting back there and I'm like, oh my God, Michael Rappaport. Oh my God, Susan Lucci. Oh my God.
You're texting me all the people that are walking by and I'm dying. I'm like,
the Smith sisters. There were so many people back there. And I was like sitting there. My eyes were like this wide with this shitty grin. I'm like this. Alyssa walks through and she goes, Kelly. And I was like, what? She said, be cool. And I was like, okay, I'll be cool. I mean, she was teasing because it was just obvious that I was just like.
Yeah. So
Michael
good.
Rappaport, awesome.
So good. Someone asked a question a second ago and I can't think of what it was. How was the demo? I think we just talked about that. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, overall, amazing. Oh, someone said yes, because Heather McDonald's show was available as a virtual thing too. So, and it was so good. It was so worth it because she gave lots of scoop. And of course, whenever she talked about Jeff Lewis, I was like, ah!
Oh, yeah.
But she, yes. Bye, Emily. You have the best tits. And, doesn't she? I got all confused. I'm all.
She's talking about boobs. She forgot.
Emily's tits. They were talking about, Heather gives lots of predictions. And one of her prediction at her live show Saturday night was that she can see Bravocon taking a year off to kind of get their shit together and gain momentum. I can personally see that too, because I talked to a lot of people who said that was amazing, awesome, but I don't need to do it again. I kind of feel that way with a lot of stuff. I can go to New York once a year. I mean, I guess I've been 3 times in a year now. But in general, I don't want to go back to the same city. So to the same event once a year, I don't necessarily want to do that. I would love to see them take a year off personally also, just to get some momentum, maybe some new shows, some drama, some excitement, some new stuff, and then have Bravocon again. But who knows?
And I think also one of the things that maybe people don't understand or haven't thought about is the last time that Bravocon happened was in 2019.
Yes.
So we had a pandemic and a lot of isolation. And I feel like when they announced that Bravocon was coming back,
yes,
people were so excited and they just threw all the shit at the wall to try to get it all going again. And I think that they probably learned a lot about maybe the mistakes they had made or whatever.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't take a year off. One other thing that I heard people say, like, because, a lot of the women were, I would say, middle-aged, right?
The fans?
Yeah.
I saw the gamut. I mean, so many men. There was husbands too, but there was a lot of men there together. Not all gay, but I would say a lot of husbands, a lot of partners. A lot of moms and daughters, a lot of like college age kids. And I'm like,
I guess you're right.
You've literally been watching this since you were 8. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, I saw a lot of age ranges. But in general, yes. Would I say a 55-year-old woman? Yes, I would say that would be my median age. That was that.
The only thing I heard like a couple women say, like whether it was there or I met a lot of people walking there or in the elevator at our hotel. They're like, by Saturday, they're like, I can't do Sunday. So I think it was hard for people to do it for 3 days.
Yeah.
I think
it was a marathon.
Yeah. I mean, I lost 2 pounds just doing that shit. Just run. No, I was like, thank you, Jesus. But it was not easy because you have to remember there's a lot of walking in New York. And not only that when you're walking to get a cab or Uber or whatever, there was a lot of walking inside. And it was not cool. It was fucking hot in there. It was hot as fuck.
Yeah, that is one thing. We had great.
And I'm sweating.
Somebody said, did they sell a lot of books? They did sell a lot of books. Obviously, they would have been happy if they would have sold them all. I think he took some home or mailed them back, whatever they do. I think all of his seasonings sold, right? They sold out.
Yes. And it was, I mean, there was like tons of people walking by. A lot of people didn't even know about the cookbook, which was so strange to me. And I was like, and they would be like, I didn't know this was out. And they're like, where's Amy Phillips? And they thought like all these were different women. And I'm like, no, that's all Amy Phillips. She does the impersonations of all of them. She's so fucking talented. And the streets are scary. You know what? I was going to say.
We never felt scared at all. And sometimes, like, especially coming back from Manhattan Center, we would, just depend on what time we came back. But sometimes it was easier and quicker just to walk than take an Uber. Sometimes we Ubered a lot of places, but sometimes, and the weather was amazing. It wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot, wasn't rainy except for Thursday. Amazing weather. And I wasn't scared. There's so many people out. I'm usually never scared in New York City.
Yeah,
Kim said she never felt unsafe. Me either, Kim.
I think the media likes to play it up that New York is lawless. And maybe certain parts are, but the part where we were at, I think there was a couple times when I was walking in the morning, because I would get there like at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I heard some people screaming in the streets that I was like, well, there's shit. That happens in L.A.
Yeah.
Oh, what does it say? Something?
Orphe.
You know what, Orphe?
Real. I mean, if I wouldn't have been there, I would have been dying because
Me too.
It was just, it's not just the Bravo celebrities, because to me, no offense, that's not really a big deal. I really like a live show. I like being entertained. So when people say, oh, she flies out for a show, to me, it's just like flying out for a concert. When I heard Amy was going to be, when I heard Amy was doing Real Comedians of Bravo Sunday night, and that Reza was going to be one of the comedians, I was like, I'm flying out for that. Now, the fact that Jeff had announced that he'd be at CatCon like 12 times at a certain time, whatever.
Right.
Remember, Kelly, I was never flying out for CatCon.
No.
She announced her show.
I was the CatCon crazy person.
You wanted the CatCon. I just went along for whatever. But I was going to her show. So meeting the people is not as whatever, especially just taking a quick picture of them. That's not really my thing. The fans, standing in line, reading everyone's funny T-shirts, their bags, God. Just knowing that you're amongst all your people.
And that talking to them.
I would love to see what?
And talking to them about what we like, oh, did you see this? And you know what I mean? Because they're all fans.
They just get us. I mean, that's why I've always said there should be a Jeff Lewis con.
I know. That would be fun.
Because literally, to me, Jeff Lewis fans are even a smaller niche. Mm-hmm. And we really all get each other. We understand everything that he says in his life. We care about his friends. We care about his stepmother. We care about Monroe. We care about who he's dating. I mean, we understand every facet of the man's life. So when you're a hardcore Jeff Lewis live fan, it's even better to meet in person. And we met so many Jeff. We knew a lot of them be there already, like Cheryl from Van Nuys. Shout out, Cheryl. Kim, who I was with. You, from my lips to Jeff's ears. Exactly.
Chump con.
But literally, when you're just there and everyone is a huge Bravo fan, which a lot of them are also Jeff Lewis fans, it was just amazing. It really was.
Yeah,
to me was probably the best part, is just knowing you're surrounded by people that can look at a T-shirt and know exactly what it means. Yes. You know, there's no explanation for the word puppygate. You're like, oh my God, Lisa Vanderpump, Dorit, Teddy, you know, Beverly Hills, you know exactly what it is. I mean,
and we all
love it.
And it was fun to people watch. There were a lot.
That's a great one. Chump Con. I love that.
There was quite a few drag queens. That was really fun to meet them and watch. I can't ever say his name right. I don't know if it's Teray, but he dresses like Kenya Moore hair care. So that, and a lot of people brought it with their outfits. Like the shirts were one thing, but there was like a lot of people dressed to the T's, lots of sparkles, lots of pink. I'm still on a high. That's why I can't feel that I'm sick and my ear ruptured on a flight, but that's okay.
Everyone I've talked to, Kim, how do you feel? I haven't asked Kim if she felt okay. I know last night at the airport, we flew back home. She felt fine, but she never really she did have a sore throat Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
But you know what's funny? I think everybody
a little bit scratchy.
Everybody almost lost their voice by Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you're just talking and laughing and screaming and stuff. But yeah, it was phenomenal. And I'm so glad we got to do that. I'm just so thankful for Stu and Amy, and it was awesome. Yes, and Cheryl looked amazing.
Yes. Yeah, she brought it. We saw her everywhere, and I had lunch with her yesterday. She's amazing. Real quick about today's show, it ended up being Monica Casey and Doug Buden because Cynthia Bailey, I really think she said she was still in New York and she got confused.
Mm-hmm.
I think she doesn't want to be interviewed yet and asked about the Mike divorce. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but someone even said that she had an event there still, then that was why. You don't think so?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's possible, and I don't blame her.
October 28th. So today was the date that Jeff was supposed to announce if he signed the contract or not. It's now October 28th. It's been delayed. So
he just said that they need more time to negotiate. There wasn't enough time. Maybe they didn't start talking and figuring out all the details. So
I would assume they've been talking.
No, I know, but I think
point.
I think they should have started negotiating a lot longer before they actually did, and that's what's taking so long. But it sounds promising.
Well, if anyone needs to ask us, right? Yes, Jeff Lewis needs to come back on Sirius, and we would love some of the chumps to have their own show. We would love a Jeff Lewis channel.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So we heard today that Michelle Collins is not coming back. So
yeah, you know what?
Shane needs more money. He needs insurance, right?
I would love for Jeff to do a 2-hour show. I don't think that's going to happen. Jeff doesn't want to do it, and so unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen.
And you and I differ in that. I don't really want a 2-hour Jeff Lewis show. I think there's so much else that I listen to, and of course, devoting a fan account to him is like a full-time job that I do when my kids are at school during the day, and then we do the recap. So I don't know. I don't love the 2-hour. I'm like ADD like Jeff is. So I also don't want Andy Cohen and John Hill to remain 2 hours a day. I want that to go to 1 hour, 4 days a week.
And John Hill.
Who's asking me? Oh my God, he's so sexy. So cute.
And I'm going to tell you, I was sniffing everybody. Because I sniff people and I love cologne. I'm the sniffer.
Yeah.
They all smell amazing. I was just like, and I was so sweaty and gross, and they're like, here, give me a hug. And I'm like.
And you know who, after a long day, is not a big sweater, and he definitely never smelled?
Stu.
Never.
I know.
He always looked fresh as a daisy, and you think men would like sweat. I've never really seen him sweat into the armpits or anything like that. I'm assuming whenever he goes to the gym, he does. But
yeah, you know,
he never looks like he needs to be. He never looks like shiny or anything. He always looks amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because he's
and the pants are always snug.
They are
in the right places.
I took a picture of him bending over in his butt, but I was like, I'm not going to post that because I don't want to violate his trust. But he's giving away his chef coat. He wore that chef coat for 3 days. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's going to be stinky. But
I wonder who's going to win it. I wonder if they drew it already.
He said that they were going to call Sunday night, but who knows if that happened or not.
Fun.
So, yeah.
Real quick, so about a few booths down was Phaedra. And Phaedra, I was videoing because she was about to be alone. So I was trying to get the fan out of her video. And she bent down all of a sudden. And I got lots of titty coming out of that dress. But of course, I didn't post that because that's not, I just happened to get it. But that's not what I was trying to get. I was trying to get her whatever. But she had a beautiful dress on. But when you bend down, the titty falls out. So
I was going to ask, was Charlotte there?
Oh, I don't know. Were you there? We knew Charlotte in advance, like Elka, who all did we know? Diane, we knew was going.
Yes.
Molly, I'm forgetting everyone, but there was quite a few people that came up to me and her that we didn't know was going to, I don't know how they know about us, but anyways, it was really fun.
And it was crazy. Like Sarah said, she was recognized.
Is that Abigail?
Abigail. Hi, Abigail.
That is Abigail. Shout out. Is that the right Abigail account?
Let me see. Let me go back. It's Abigail Gill.
Yes, that's 81. Her. Is that you that was helping out at the booth? So she's the one with the family van. If you've heard her on Amy Phillips, and she was on yesterday on Amy Phillips. She's amazing.
Yes, a hard worker, man. That girl hustles.
Sonia Morgan did spread her legs. She angled just a hair from where I was at, but she definitely did a spread. I'm pretty sure she was on some tequila or something. Diane, it's so good to meet you, too. I get to see you in Atlanta for Countess Luann's show. It's so good to meet you and hug you.
I was going to say one thing is, like, I was walking backstage, and there was this Bravocon serious employee, and she's behind me, and she goes, Jeff Lewis.
Oh.
Jeff Lewis chump. And I was like, are you talking to me? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, ah!
I know, it's so weird. But fun. Like I said, we love Jeff Lewis fans. There are people. Yes, I'm absolutely. So glad I found you, Kelly.
You too. And I have to say, we have a real friendship. This girl is my homegirl. She's my ride or die. I mean, we have so much we have a lot in common and a lot that differs, but that's my bitch. That's my bitch. My daughter just woke me up for more milk. I popped on and wanted to see you ladies, but I'm back to bed. Go to bed. Yeah,
I know. We know it's 10 o'clock your time. Well, we will leave y'all tomorrow. We'll be back at 6 o'clock California time, 8 o'clock Texas time. We do it every weeknight and recap Jeff Lewis Live. We love to hear from you. DM us.
Yes, absolutely.
The replays go up on Instagram. They also go up as a podcast on Anchor and Spotify. We're trying to figure out how to put it up on Apple. If anyone's technology inclined and wants to help me with that, you're welcome to. Toodaloo, Orphe. Thank you,
Wendy and Charlotte. Wait. Tell us who's on tomorrow, Jeff Lewis Live.
Oh, my God. My amazing Tori Spelling and our amazing Zach Noe Towers, whose birthday is today.
Happy birthday.
We love Zach Noe Towers. And I love Tori Spelling. So, yeah.
Bye, guys.
Shout out, Chumpheads. Bye.